will you? Loving God, may the words that I am about to say be the words that you desire for people to hear. Amen. About 2 weeks ago, my daughter Mari, who is a nanny, was going to throw a surprise party for the one girl whose birthday it was coming up, Lexi. And she told all of Lexi's friends, she told all their parents, she said, keep it a secret. And then she got to the day and did all the preparations in secret. She blindfolded Lexi and led Lexi out the back door and took the blindfold off, and everybody yelled, surprise! And Lexi just looked, she didn't know what to do. And Marty said, it's your birthday, happy birthday. And Lexi was like, oh, okay. There was another time in my earlier life, say a lifetime ago, when I first got out of college and I was working at a retreat center, and there were two people who were running the retreat center, and they had begun it and they had worked really hard to build it up to be what it was. And it was finally came to the 10th anniversary. And so myself and a couple of others decided we were going to throw them a surprise party. So it was Andre and Peter, and we got everybody else that we could find. It was probably like 100, 150 people. We got them to come in the back door and go into the upper room, and just realized what that sounds like. But anyway, they went to the upper room, and we opened the doors, and everybody yelled, surprise! And Andre looked at me and she said, what's going on? And I said, it's your 10th anniversary. Happy anniversary. And she said, oh. And she still couldn't wrap her mind around it. She couldn't wrap her heart around it. It was so significantly different for her, as it was for Lexi. It was so significantly different for Lexi, who never had a surprise before, that they couldn't wrap themselves around it. And this was what the resurrection was like for Mary Magdalene, Mary, the mother of James, Joanna, and the other women who were going about their ordinary life, the things that they expected when they went to the tomb, because they were going to anoint Jesus' body. They couldn't do it on the Sabbath, so they were to do it after the Sabbath. He was dead, period. But not full stop. In the Gospel, we read that while they were perplexed about this, and asking the question, what is going on? What is this? The two men, which were in dazzling white, so we presume them to be angels, asked, why do you look for the living among the dead? And not to be irreverent, but women, it's time to party. Christians, it's time to party. Your Lord, your Master, your teacher, your God, the one who you follow is not dead. Here among the dead is not where you want to be, so that those angels say. And they go on and they say, remember what he said in Galilee, how he told you that the anointed one must be handed over to sinners, be crucified, and on the third day rise again. That's today. We are here. And they remembered, and they told the 11 and the others, but their words seemed unbelievable. Like Lexi and Andre and the Marys and Joanna, who could not believe their eyes. And then they went to the others and they told them, and they couldn't believe their ears. So much that Peter got up and he went to the tomb. And he saw the cross and was amazed at what he saw and what had happened. Be amazed and then tell about it. And so one might say, especially in our world where church and religion is not the most popular of things, people will say, so what is to tell? So what? A Ukrainian, a citizen of Yemen or a citizen of the Democratic Republic of Congo would never say, so what? What is the reason I fight? For the freedom that Jesus gave me. All the death, however painful, is for their freedom. In death, they know life. An African American would never say, so what? Standing up to oppose racial oppression, when met with polite, albeit unnecessary, painful questioning at one's confirmation hearing, we know that through tears, Ketanji Brown Jackson knew that her going ahead was exactly what God called her to. And her presence on the Supreme Court was one more move to put an end to systemic racism. She hung in there because God did not call her to death, but God called her to life. Those who know trauma would never say, so what? In the thin space between trauma and brokenness and what is, and the promise of what will be or what can be, there is hope. Moments of breakthrough tell the story of life, not death. Those Indigenous Canadian and American youth who were stolen from their families, who were abused and died wrongful deaths as part of the residential schools, would never say, so what? Their descendants have kept their memory alive. In death, they know life. My friends, the stone has been rolled away, and resurrection is real, even if it feels strange, even if it cannot be recognized by self or others, even if it feels too good to be true, even if it does not fit the script as humanity has written it, the stone is still moved away. Resurrection is real. Life awaits us. We have new life. We know this through our baptism. We have been baptized into Christ's death, and the promise of the resurrection awaits us. Like the surprise or birthday party or anniversary party, we might be a bit unsure at first. Like the women at the tomb who said, wait, where is he? Where is Jesus? Where is the promise of all that is good? And as the angels said, why do you look for the living among the dead? Jesus is out here. Jesus is out there. We will see in future weeks that Jesus is with those who doubt, walks with those who travel, and shares food with those who eat. We will see that whenever 2 or 3 are gathered, Jesus is there. We will see Jesus first present to those in the gravest pain of war and oppression. And like the Israelites, who had hurriedly prepared to eat the Passover meal to be ready for their journey, so God asks us to be ready for our journey. Yes, we are on the journey today. You and I meet the risen Christ along the way. So, keep your eyes open. Keep your ears to hear. Keep your bodies to experience. Peace will come. Racism will end. We will stop drawing lines between us. Trauma will subside. Death will be no more. We are called to live the resurrection. It is here that the party begins. The party that God gives for you and for me. Given in an abundance of love that God can't help but share. In the person of Jesus Christ, we see God's unconditional love and promise of new life. See all who come, and know that this is for you. Jesus died and rose for you, as though for you alone. As though the party is for you, and just for you. So, kick your heels up, dance, sing, shout your hallelujahs, proclaim, Christ is risen.
He is risen indeed.
Hallelujah.